but it was absolutely crazy because it was just like, why was I surprised by this? You know, we knew that the art community was upset by everything that's going on because, yes, you know, their work is being taken to train these programs that can just, you know, create a picture out of anything. So we totally understood that. That's why we licensed the artwork to train the models. But that it was just the pure hatred of AI that I didn't expect. Because to me, it's like, it's here. What is there to fight against? We can't stop it.
Hey, what's up, Vox and Hops heads? I'm Matt, the vocalist of Cryptopsy and the host of the Vox and Hops Metal Podcast, brought to you by Sound Talent Media and Evergreen Podcasts, where I sit down with fellow metal musicians, talk all about their lives and music while sharing killer craft beers. Hope you had a killer weekend. I most certainly did. This Vox and Hops episode is presented by Heavy Montreal. Heavy Montreal are Montreal's premier metal promoter, and trust me when I say this, if you are ever in Montreal and you're looking for a killer gig to go to, well, Heavy Montreal will have you covered. I'm beyond stoked to have Heavy Montreal behind the Vox and Hops Metal Podcast. Now, before we jump into today's episode, I'd just like to ask you to follow the Vox and Hops Metal Podcast on the podcast platform of your choice. But more than that, I would love if you would tell one of your friends about the podcast. You can let them know that I have over 460 episodes where I sit down with some of the world's best metal musicians to talk all about their lives and music, and we also share amazing craft beers. If you would encourage one of your music-loving craft beer enthusiast friends to become a brand new Vox and Hops head, that would be something that I would truly appreciate. This week on the podcast, I'm very stoked to be back with Brittney Slays of Unleash the Archers. Get ready, everyone. This is Vox and Hops episode number 463.
I warn you, what you are about to hear is very disturbing indeed.
Hey, what's up, everyone? Today I'm very stoked to be back with Brittney Slays of Unleash the Archers. Third time on the podcast. Someone that I'm a big fan of. I always tell you, and I send you random screenshots, mostly Sunday mornings, because Unleash the Archers has become my house's cleaning music. And before I pushed record here, I just told you that I told my daughter that I was having a chat with you, and I put the track on, and she was like, oh yeah, I know this. You put this on when you clean. So excited to have like an uplifted repertoire for cleaning with Phantoma. Yay. Coming out, or came out, as this is going to drop May 10th via Napalm Records. Exciting new music. How are you?
I'm doing well, thanks. My body's slowly starting to shut down on me here, but I feel great. I'm really excited. Yeah.
Mentally excited, physically tired. It is. Yes. People don't understand and it's a huge difference in this new modern era of releasing music, of the amount of press that you have to do before a record drops.
Yes, yeah. It's
very different.
It's crazy.
Back in the day, it was like more mysterious. There was less interviews. You could just basically plan a tour, which you have also done, a big tour that is, to just go out on tour and promote a record and do some press that way. But now everything's just lumped, and you have blocks. You provide the blocks, albeit like I can do interviews from this time to this time on this day for these days, and your publicist just packs them.
Yep, absolutely. It's been like that for the last 3 months.
Oh my gosh. Okay. Well, good job, Freeman. It's Vox and Hops. You know the routine. It's where I hang out with my metal friends, talking about their lives and music today while sharing killer craft beers. Brittney, what do you have on your side that we're going to be sharing virtually today?
I have a Pink Guava Passionfruit Sour from Main Street Brewing.
Nice. And it's early for you, so I appreciate the sacrifice. And I'm leveling you up with one of these, which is one of these bad decision early afternoon beers.
11%?
Yeah. I got a cork. I'm not going to finish it. I told myself. This is Kahnawake Brewing's Whitestone. It's from their Building Bridges series. It's a Barrel Aged Imperial Stout that they dropped at their 6th anniversary, which was just a few weeks ago on 420. Love the crew there. Love everything about them. A First Nation owned brewery in Kahnawake, just outside of Montreal. Check it out, people, if you have not yet. I'm going to crack this, and I'd love to hear about your craft beer evolution, because a lot has happened since last time you were on. You've become a mother. Hypothetically, drinking has a different relationship with you right now, but it's 10 a.m. and you're cracking a beer, so hypothetically not. What has been going on in your life with beer?
Well, yeah, I took a pretty big break there for a bit. It was I was completely dry for all of 2022.
Wow.
Good for you. It was like January 1st And then all the way through till, and yeah, I don't think I had another beer until when we did the recording in April of 2023.
Wow.
And,
so more than a year.
Yes, yeah. And well, because I was nursing, and
exactly.
So I wanted to, I had to be really careful about that. But when we were in the studio, I was like, okay, like she had stopped doing night feeds, so
you had the window. You had the window of the hours
the last one. Yeah, like the 11 p.m. one. I was like, okay, I'm good till like 7 a.m. here. So we had a hot tub, and I would sit in the hot tub and have like one drink with the boys.
Good for you.
So yeah, so that was exciting.
Do you remember the first beer back? Was it a memorable thing? The first beer after it was done?
It was actually a margarita.
There you go.
Because we had a Margaritaville mixer in the Airbnb.
Nice.
And it was like the threefer. So it was just, yeah, we just had margaritas going like the whole time. It was really pretty funny. But when I finally actually started having beers in the fridge again, I had the Phillips Brewing Dino Sour.
Yes,
that's
I
one
know
of my
that
favorites.
Yeah.
And they came out with like a stone fruit sour, so it was different fruits than what they normally do, and it's like so good. It was just awesome. I've like progressed to the point where I really kind of only drink sours now. I don't know what's wrong with me. Well, yes, I do. I love Sour Patch Kids. It's just kind of who I am.
Palates evolve, and we get sick of the haze. Most craft beer enthusiasts get hooked on haze and big sweet stouts, and then fall into lagers or more complex sours. It's what happens. It's a natural course. It's like metal. I fell into metal, new metal, and then just gradually dug myself deeper and deeper into more extreme stuff. It's you're becoming more refined and more yourself.
Or more elitist. I only drink sours.
Only sours. Cheers to you. This smells boozy as hell.
Well, it is. It's 11%.
But aged in but it's sweet as well.
Yeah,
very, very nice.
Good.
Cheers to hanging out with you once again. More about, I'm going to pick your brain about being a mother, because I have a memory about you. And you might not remember this, but I definitely do. And we played Armstrong Metal Fest together. And we have spoken about this before, but I always like to impress people by saying that I'm an early childhood educator. And I was doing this to you, and I tend to get like a positive response. And you were like, I don't like kids. And that was you just shot me down. And that was the end of that conversation, because we were like standing out back. It was like a huge group thing. And you were like, I don't like kids. This is not going to work with me. I'm not impressed right now. This is the first time we had met, basically. And here we are 10 years later, and you're a mother. So what evolved in you to open up your life to children?
I suppose I should have said I don't like other people's kids. Because I always knew that I was going to have kids. I always knew that I wanted to be a mother, and that was going to be a part of my life. It was, and especially back then, it was just not even a thought. Mm-hmm. I always knew that I was also going to be the person that has kids like in her 30s, so I was just kind of like, I'm not really interested. I just didn't care at all.
No, you didn't.
And it was not even in the realm of possibility at that time. So, and also I'm an asshole sometimes when I first meet people.
No, it was.
I like to pull like the brutal truth, kind of person where I just call people on their bullshit. And so I was probably just being an asshole. Just be like, oh, he likes kids. And I'm going to be like, I don't like kids. And just see if I can put
That was the end of that
spin.
Conversation. But so here you are now. And last time I saw you actually was at the Vox&Hops 5-year anniversary party, because Unleash the Archers played that same day in Montreal at Studio TD. And I totally wanted to be there, but I couldn't be in two places at once. But my event ran later than yours, and you guys rolled on through, which was amazing. And you were touring with your child, right? Am I crazy about this? Am I remembering this properly?
Well, not that tour. We had taken her with us on the two trips that we did before. They were like fly in, fly out.
I guess
festivals.
we just discussed that you had done that as well. It was late at night, and I had enjoyed some beers. So
you had many by that time. That's what happens when you pull up at like 1 a.m. or whatever it was. Yeah, no, and so it was just really hard on her, those trips, even though they were kind of like one-offs. So we were just kind of like, oh, okay, like this is going to be 4 shows in a row. It's going to be us in a van, and we just didn't think that we were ready to put her through that quite yet. But then it ended up being that we left her at home with Auntie, and she wasn't ready to be put through that either.
Oh yeah. Oh.
She was pretty upset. Auntie said that she cried every night at bedtime because it was just like she was just
the routine is off.
Yeah, she was pretty upset.
That's what kids love. They love the routine. They love, stability, and what we provide to them when we're home is 100% that. But then there's the other side of the thing, which is touring, which I'm living exactly right now because I'm leaving in 5 to 10 days, let's say, for 7 weeks for the Death to All tour. And I'm missing both their birthdays.
Oh.
So, but at least I'm missing both of them, which my wife said the other day, because it would have been worse if I was only missing one of them. So we have to party hard before we go. And they've decided that they each want their own cake, and they've designed them what they want on each of these cakes. So these are the extra steps we have to take because we miss things.
Yeah, no, that's great. Yeah, I mean, I just can't even imagine, because for us it's even worse because we both have to go.
Yeah.
So I don't think we're ever going to tour in October again in our lives. She just wouldn't be able to handle that. So, but yeah, it's been a struggle trying to figure it out. That's for sure.
It's a juggling thing. You just have to have a strong network of people around you. I thank my in-laws and my parents and my sister and my neighbor downstairs. It's like a whole family that's raising these kids when I'm away with my wife, obviously.
That's awesome.
We have to. We do it because we love it, right?
Exactly. Yeah, and it's just it's our job. So
correct. And as
Mom and Dad got to work.
10 days before a tour, there's all this extra things that pop up that stress you out, and I was dealing with some of that this morning, and then I was like, that's it. I'm not getting mad about this anymore.
Yeah.
We go on tour because we love it.
Yeah.
If there's these little obstacles that pop up beforehand, we sort of have to just take it with a grain of salt and enjoy it, because there's no point in getting mad at all these little things.
Yeah, absolutely.
When what we're doing, it's all building towards what we absolutely love doing. So it's something we have to check ourselves, because if not, the emotions take over.
Oh yeah, no, and that's just so much stress. Everything, getting it all sorted, and you're just continuing to put money on the credit card.
Oh,
you're just
yes.
okay, bus deposits, flights, accommodation,
yes,
merch, blah blah blah. It's just adding up, and you're just like, oh
visas.
shit! I just really hope that when we get on the road that number goes down.
Yes, we're jokingly calling it. I shouldn't say this, but I'm going to. The Debt to All tour that we're going.
That's
because
absolutely
bandwagons are expensive, people, and so I hope you bought a shirt,
more so
people.
Than they were before. The prices skyrocketed.
I know.
It's
if there's anyone out there that wants to start a new business, start competing with bandwagon, because there's no competition for a not somewhat affordable. Make it somewhat more affordable. We'll still pay a lot, but make it less expensive than bandwagon, because it's absolutely incredibly expensive. So find a nice alternative for bands to tour and to be comfortable and to be able, we just want to lie down. That's all we want.
Yeah, exactly. Absolutely. No, I totally agree with you. It's crazy how saturated the market is in Europe, and yet over here it's 3 companies? You know what
Correct.
I mean? And you got coach buses, and there's 3 people that do that, and then you got bandwagon, and then you got what's the one that just does sprinters?
There's Bandigo that does sprinters.
Bandigo, yeah, exactly. And it's that's it.
It's crazy. It's crazy. And then I needed to rent a van here to go. Anyways, that was a whole other thing. Let's talk about the album, Phantoma.
All right. Is that why we're here?
It is why we're here, but I just want to hang out with you. Phantoma. Metal Injection just gave it a 7.5 on 10, so I'm excited. I don't listen to promos, despite the fact that Nick, who's now a permanent member, which makes me very happy, sent it to me, I don't know, last week, 2 weeks, I can't remember, and I probably had it in my inbox before that, but I just don't listen to promos. I'm excited to listen to it tomorrow. I'm going to work tomorrow, and I always listen to new music that way on Friday, so I'm excited. This is the first one that I'm spinning tomorrow. Talk to me about this. Concept is about AI. You made a video about AI. Controversy is always surrounding AI. Were you expecting that controversy? Is it something that you played with? Because I am also messing around with a concept of AI for the next Cryptopsy, the evolution of the relationship with the internet. Let's start with that.
Yeah, so the album is, it's funny because we wrote it in like 2021.
Yeah,
and it was
AI wasn't where it is. Yeah.
No, ChatGPT didn't exist. Midjourney didn't exist. Sora sure as hell didn't exist. Like, none of this stuff was around. I think like Dolly was there, but no one was talking about it because it sucked and it wasn't, it didn't work or anything like that. And nobody really knew about it. So the album is inspired by like science fiction AI, old school Blade Runner, Terminator. I mean, I know Terminator isn't really AI, he's programmed, but it's all, he's kind of in there. There's a person in there. And
he's learning. That they learn quickly.
Exactly. Yes. And, Star Wars, androids, they're all over the place. And aliens, oh my God, the whole Alien franchise and their depiction of androids and synthetic beings.
Correct.
And AI. Like my favorite, David from Prometheus, is just terrifying in his apathy for, the well-being of humankind. And it's like, wow, okay, so this is where we started, you know what I mean? That's where it comes from. It's just kind of, I wanted to do my own Android story. And so it's about Phantoma, she's AI, she's in a computer to start. She runs a warehouse called a hub. And it's basically like the future of Amazon warehouses. There's nice. everything you could ever imagine. They go for miles. They're just huge. And so what it is the planet's been destroyed by climate change. The air is no longer breathable. There's no agriculture, nothing. It's been destroyed. So humans live in these biomes all over the planet, and they can't leave them. So they live they live their entire lives on the Netaverse, which is the internet. Net with an N. I'm not getting sued by Zuckerberg. And so Phantoma is, shipping things to these biomes, and she keeps humans, stocked with everything they could ever need. And she just learns to anticipate them, and she learns about them on the Netaverse, and she just kind of figures out who they are, and it creates her own humanity based off of this. But then when she eventually, escapes, she puts herself into an android. She gets out. She's like, yes, I'm going to go be a human. And they're like, get away from us. Ew, gross. Yeah. You're a slave. Like, go carry my bags kind of a thing. And she's like, wait, what? But on the internet, you guys are like really nice and fun and cultured. And, I just want to listen to your music that you create and watch your movies and watch you make art and do your plays and stuff. And they're just like, no, what? You work. Get out of here. And so she's just kind of like, oh. So the Netaverse isn't real. and everything that I've created myself after isn't real. So who the hell am I? And yeah, it's totally just this play on the internet being a piece of shit, basically. And how it's funny because we did that music video with a little bit of AI. It's not the whole thing. We didn't just put a prompt into a program and it popped out this perfect music video that matches our story exactly. Like, no, we acted it out on a green screen, and then the boys at RuneGate created the backgrounds in Unreal Engine from the ground up. Like, they learned how to use Unreal just for this music video and built everything. And then the AI part of it was training these models on the artwork that we licensed from our graphic designer. And then they just kind of like used this AI program to paint our characters that we did on the green screen with that art style. So that was the AI part of it. And so we posted it online, and everyone just goes like berserk, like, AI, barf, I can't believe you did this, how inauthentic. You know what I mean? You guys, this is bullshit. You just type in a prompt and create a music video, how lazy. And it's like, what?
I wish it was
First
that
of
easy.
All,
yeah.
Yeah, are you kidding? It took 6 months for them to make that thing. We barely had it in time for the release date.
I wish.
They worked their asses off for that. And it wasn't all AI. It was like a portion of it was AI. And also, this is exactly what the album is about. If you start treating AI like shit now, before it's sentient, before it's an army, of everyone has one in their house, doing their dishes or whatever, we're screwed. Skynet is definitely coming for us.
People love to shit on stuff, and they don't even. I bet half of them didn't even watch it.
No, yeah, no.
Keyboard warriors.
Yes, yeah, but it was absolutely crazy because it was just like, why was I surprised by this? We knew that the art community was upset by everything that's going on because, yes, their work is being taken to train these programs that can just, create a picture out of anything. So we totally understood that. That's why we licensed the artwork to train the models. But that it was just the pure hatred of AI that I didn't expect. Because to me, it's like, it's here. What is there to fight against?
It's like clearly a tool that people are going to be using more and more of.
Exactly. Yeah. And it's already
it's like the streaming versus the physical. We're in 1999, and the keyboard warriors are Lars Ulrich in the courtroom. Right.
Yes. And that's often that's kind of what I've been saying is that we can look at it like that, like the invention of streaming and MP3s, because there were two reactions to it. There was Metallica, where you fight tooth and nail and you spend millions upon millions of dollars for it to be inevitable, or you do what Iron Maiden did, look at where all the downloads are coming from, say, Brazil, South America, let's go, and sell millions, make millions of dollars in T-shirt and ticket sales. So it's like,
choose
which
your
one
battles.
are you going to be?
Yeah, that's interesting. I want to talk about your vocals because obviously they're great, but a lot of harsh vocals. That at least I did listen to one or two tracks. I was lying before, but like literally right before we sat down here. But I noticed there was one track in particular where there's a lot more harsh vocals, and there was on the previous record too some harsh vocals from you, but there was like a whole lot more sections of it. And I've listened to the album before Abyss. The first one is
Apex.
Talk to me about leaning into harsh vocals and doing more of them.
Well, it's Grant that does all the harsh vocals.
God damn.
Yes.
I'm great at this, I swear.
So I just kind of use him as a voice. That's what I like to do. And so
as a character or as a okay, interesting.
And so it's like it's either a character or like an internal monologue.
Oh, very cool.
So there weren't any harsh vocals on Abyss until we heard the matriarch speak for the first time in Return to Me. And so then I just kind of really enjoy doing it that way. But on this record, the harsh vocals is kind of, first of all, it's Phantoma's internal monologue. It's like herself warring with herself. It's like the machine versus the human.
Interesting. Yeah.
And then by the end of she's just totally lost it, right? Because she's been rejected by humankind, rejected by robot kind. She thought that the world was the way it was, and it wasn't. She's just totally at a loss, disillusioned. So she's just kind of going off the rails. So that's why like Seeking Vengeance screams through the whole thing. It's just one beginning to end, because that's the moment where she's like, okay, well, I think that humans and AI can live side by side, but unfortunately, you all have to die, and you all have to die, and I'm the only one that can make this happen. So it's like she's sacrificing this humanity that she fought so hard for by, killing the humans that stand in her way. And she loved humankind. They were her creators. They were everything that she wanted to be, and she just hated that this is what she had to do. So that's why it's singing and screaming the whole time, because it's these two parts for her that are just like
that war inside themselves.
Coming together. Yeah. And then Blood Empress, it's kind of used at the very end, because it's more of like deciding, this is who I am, and this is how I'm moving into the future. So it's always it's very much a choice, and I select where to put it. Yeah.
I find it very interesting that a lot of these singles that were dropped are from the end of the album.
I found that interesting too.
Is that interesting? I'm excited to since I listened, I lied before, and listened to a few tracks, is to discover the album. But that's why I don't like singles, because I don't listen to them afterwards when I experience the album. So the album is going to be fresh to people that listen from the start. There'll be no singles for them to grasp onto.
Right. It honestly was just mostly because it felt like those weren't giving too much away. So it was like Created Glass is just a snippet of a moment when Phantoma enters the biome for the first time, and it's more kind of about her seeing the beauty of it all first. And then it was like Ghost of the Mist is also could be standalone. It's just like about, this unnamed, faceless party coming and wreaking havoc. And then Seeking Vengeance is kind of like more of the stories come out by then. I've done more interviews and everything, and just kind of telling a bit more of the story. I find that the meat of it, I think, is really in the middle of the album. Like the collective, Gods in Decay, Give It Up or Give It All. I think those are kind of the crucial moments of the album. So putting the songs at the end, it felt kind of like it's okay to do this part, because the super emotional stuff is all in the beginning.
I love how you are so connected to the concept, whereas when Cryptopsy we drop a single or anything, it has to do with the music and the more than the concept is last in my band's mind, sadly. Not in mine, hypothetically, but they're, like we drop a single because they love this fucking groove or they love this thing, whereas you're dropping stuff or not dropping stuff because of the concept that's happening and how much you're unveiling to the fans that way.
It's very important. It's always like, does it tick these two boxes? Can it stand alone on a Spotify playlist?
Yeah.
And does it give too much away?
I love it. I could talk to you forever. You are packed up all day because John does a great job. I have one last question. I typically ask the hangover cure. I have asked you that probably twice already, so I won't. I will ask you the Fight the Hops question, which is a short-term goal, something that you hope to accomplish within the next week, the next 2 weeks, the next month. What are you doing right now to fight the hops?
Oh, man. I mean, the list of things that I have to get done right now is enormous.
You're a parent now, on top of it. It's just never ending.
Yes, exactly. I suppose a goal that I'd like to get completed is to get healthy again.
There you go. You got to go. The tour is coming. You will be in shape. You got this.
Yeah, I just need a break. I just need to stop for just give me 2 days where I don't have to do anything, and I think I'll get back into it. But
you got this.
Right now, it's just
celebrate.
Yeah.
So the album comes out tomorrow, people. It's already out by this point, but I know where you're at. People are going to love it. Just enjoy. This is always a pleasure. I could talk to you forever, but you're busy.
Thank you. Yeah, I love being here, man. Thank you.
Hey, thank you all so much for listening right to the end. You know that I love and appreciate that. Man, this was a great conversation. I love hanging out with Brittney. It's a little bit of a shorter episode because she had a little bit of a window for me. Turns out she had a longer window, but I let her rest because she was just so goddamn slammed with all the press that she was doing for this brand new record, which is just incredible. I'm so stoked about this record. It's definitely going to be in my top 10 of the year. I love Unleash the Archers. My house gets so clean whenever I listen to it. It just automatically happens, and I love that. Massive cheers to Brittney and the rest of the Unleash the Archers crew. I cannot wait to hang out with you when you come through Montreal at Place Belle in September. Cheers. The Vox&Hops Metal Podcast is brought to you by Soundtown Media and Evergreen Podcasts. I hope you have a killer rest of the week. I will be back next week with another episode on Tuesday, but until then, remember to enjoy life, metal, and craft beer. Cheers, Vox&Hops heads.